Welcome back to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today we're talking about pumps and dumps and pumping up the volume. The volume is the key to understanding where the pump and dump comes from. But for those of you who don't know what a pump and dump is, that is when there's a lot of activity on a coin and there's a lot of hype to drive the price up suddenly, and then in a short while later, they just dump it back on the market. So, for example, let's say they being a group or even a YouTuber, I won't pick anyone out in particular, but I will show an example today of a group that has done this in the past. Not a perfect example, but at least it's a group rather than just singling anyone out. But I want to make sure that you understand what it is and how to identify it. So if a individual or YouTuber or group identifies a coin on their video and they drive a lot of traffic to that coin and says, this coin is going to moon, it's going to do great, all their viewership may be encouraged to buy that coin. And then that price will go up. And then shortly thereafter, there's a bunch of sell orders just waiting to occur, possibly from the YouTuber himself or herself, or the group that's already done trading on it ahead of time. So just be careful for it. So I just want to show what a chart looks like for a pump and dump, how to identify them. And you can even look at some other hype videos from a YouTuber you may think that might be doing this to see if that is a pattern based on when the video came out and how the chart of that coin you may never have heard of performs before and after that video. So let's take a look.
Just a quick reminder that nothing in this video is considered financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Seek out your own advice and do your own diligence, do your own research.
Okay, so we're gonna do a video. I don't even know if I'm in frame, but we'll try it. Okay, so we're gonna do another whiteboard video here, and I want to talk about pump and dump. Okay, I'm on my second easel. I still don't like this one either. I'm probably gonna have to get a third. It's been one of my banes, but I'm working through it. So, pump and dumps. What are they? How do you recognize them? First, let's talk about what they look like. Again, we're gonna talk about, this is time, and this is the value of the coin in USD. So, what you'll typically see, and you can pretty much forget a history, but these coins may have been around for not very long, and they could have been around for a long time. So you may have a whole bunch of data out here, but in the last few months, I'm just going to say that, let's break the timeline. Squiggle, squiggle. All right. In the last, say, 6 months, it's looked like that. It's like nothing going on. Okay, price is down, and all of a sudden, it's starting to do that. And then it comes down and it goes right back where it was. Okay? This time in here, and I've also been told that stick to black and blue because there's red and green color blindness. It's motorcycle week again. So I'm sticking to black and blue, avoiding the red and green. So, and hopefully this is a better view. And again, this is the kind of feedback I need. If you like these videos, if you can see things well, please let me know. If you can't see them well, let me know that too. All right, I'm working on framing, working on all this stuff, different stuff. But okay, so this is time. And this period here, from here to here, could be 1 to 3 days or less. All right? So, how do you recognize when there's a pump and dump going on? Number one, volume. Volume is key. All right? If volume were down here, like when I mean nothing going on here for like 3-6 months, I'm talking about volume is like, I'm gonna draw like a level. Like if this is volume of 0, right? And this is like a whole bunch of stuff, and this is a little, and this is a lot. I'm talking like volume is like that, and all of a sudden It goes like that and then like that. Okay? So you'll see a volume, huge uptick when this thing goes up, and then it'll come back down. And here's the problem, okay? So what typically happens, and you will have, I'm not calling to call out anybody who's doing pumps and dumps. I'm just trying to get you an idea of how to recognize them. If you hear a YouTuber just happen to talk about a coin you've never heard of, look at the chart. And typically what happens on the timing is that this peak will be plus or minus 12 out, plus or minus a day or less of when the video gets released. So let's say the video gets released right there. Okay, so right here. So now it gets released, a whole bunch of people will see this video, say, oh, I better get into that coin, and all of a sudden it starts dumping, and then it's out. So anybody who buys basically between here and here has a slim chance of making money, and people that buy on this down slope is pretty much, they're in trouble. Because what happens is it's going to head right back down to basically the same level it was over here, right? But now the volume has gone down to nothing. So there's no buyers over here. You can't sell when there's no buyers. Here we've artificially, the pump and dumper has created an artificial environment where there's a lot of volume and there's a lot of interest in this coin because they're talking about it. So what will happen, and the most nefarious thing that they can do, is they will buy sometime in here, right? In this time frame, they'll buy a bunch of stuff in here, and they will have sell orders already pre-programmed to happen in here. So what happens is they buy here, they make the video here, they release it at here, and it comes out there, and all of a sudden all this activity happens because coin ZZZ, which no one's ever heard of this coin, it's like, this is the next thing, like, this is the greatest coin since sliced bread. That's not what I'm saying. This is not financial advice. I don't even think that exists. I hope it doesn't. But say coin ZZZ comes out and I say, it's great, it's awesome, you should go buy it. I would never say that. But that's what a pump and dump would do. And they would say it about then. They've already bought in, they've already put the sell orders in, and they're trying to make this amount of money on a lot of shares, basically at the expense of their viewers. So I'm going to show an example that's well known, that's happened in the last year. It's not even related to a particular YouTuber. It actually happened from, I believe, Wall Street Bets did it with XRP, and I'll show you what this looks like in real time next.
So here's a classic, well, mostly classic view of a pump and dump scheme. Wall Street Bets decided that they wanted to push XRP up back in February. And it's not a classic view because they announced it a day or so ahead of time. So what they did was they just said that we're going to go and we're going to drive XRP up. Everybody go buy XRP. We're going to drive it way up over $1. But it didn't work out. But in any instance, this is a good example to show both the price action and the volume on a pump and dump. So what happened was they announced that they were going to pump XRP. So you can see the volume a few days in advance of the event, which is February 2nd. They said February 2nd at noon, we're going to do this. I think that's right. Yeah, no, February 1st, I'm sorry. So what happened was they announced it a couple of days ahead of time, end of January, and then the price started to move up, up, up as people bought in. You could see that the volume was nothing the week before, and the announcement comes on January 30th or thereabouts. Price starts moving up significantly. It was, a quarter, and it moved up significantly. It was quickly 40 cents, less than a day afterwards. It moved quickly up the day of that morning. It started pumping. It went to 50, 60, and then even 70 cents. And then at noon, the sell-off started, or just before. So they dumped it down all the way back down to 40 cents again. You still were up. If you got in here and you knew prior that this was going to happen, you were fine. Unfortunately, most people did not know until after this spike here on the 30th, and we're in at a minimum of 41 cents. So anyone that lasted past 41 cents had to wait for a while, and eventually it worked out because there's a lot of volume in XRP. Not the best example,
but it's a classic example to show the pattern that you're looking for. Typically, pumps and dumps are done with much smaller coins, much lower volume, so this upward action that happens later on doesn't usually happen for quite a while, or may never happen with really small coins that have little to no interest.
So that's the pump and dump chart, and that's also an example. I used the XRP example because it was a group, and it's not an ideal chart, but you get an idea of the volume went up, the price went up over. It was actually over a couple of days because they were leaking out what they were going to do and setting the date as for when they were going to pump and dump. Well, they were going to pump XRP, but what happened is they pumped it, and a whole bunch of people sold it right after everybody said this is the time to go and buy it because they knew that the volume was going to be there. So they went ahead, planned their trades accordingly, got out of the coin, and then flooded the market with their sales. And then the volume went down. Volume is the key indicator. The volume will go up when the price is going up, and then the volume will go right back down after it's sold, and then there's no buyers left if you're left holding the bag. So if, let's say a coin goes from $1 to $10 and then back down to $1. If you bought at $3 and didn't get out above $3, then there's no one to sell to when it goes back to $1 because there's no buyers anymore. The volume is completely dissipated. So just be wary of any hype type videos or type stories or even tweets that are out there or groups that are thinking about doing this. Be wary of it. And this is what you look for. You look for sudden inrushes of volume, a price spike. It comes up, it goes down, and then everybody's gone and it's all washed out and you're left holding the bag. So be careful out there. I hope this is useful for you. None of this is financial advice, of course, but I wanted to put this out there so you can know what to look for. If you're suspecting a pump and dump, or if you're thinking that it could be a pump and dump, or if someone has a pattern of doing this, just look for these sorts of things when their video comes out and when what the charts look like before and after. All right, there you go today. I'm going to close the door on the bureau and I'll see you next time. Yeah.